on how and how you could profit from these moves and how to trade them in the future if we do come across scenarios or events like we did today. But firstly, I'd like to start with the aims for today's webinar. We'll talk about the recent volatility in commodities complex, the causes of these trends, and how, as a trader, we would profit from current market conditions. We're living in very uncertain times. There's lots of opportunities that are presented to us. Every day is different. The trading world is changing as we speak. We're coming across scenarios that we have never seen before. So we're having to rely on all our past experience to be able to maximize our profitability in these uncertain times. And it is this what we try to help and what we will try to give you an insight onto what we look at as traders on a day-to-day basis. We just stopped trading at 7:15 today after a very busy day. So today will be very, very relevant within the commodities world on what we'll be talking about. Now, the recent volatility in the commodities complex, what are the fundamentals affecting the markets? These are the factors we'll be talking about today, and we'll be considering them a number of examples to give you an idea of how they're affected and how to maximize your trading in these commodities. We're talking about gold. As everyone's aware, gold has been one of the safe havens and one of the biggest movers to the upside in the commodities index. We'll be briefly touching on that as well. The next topic we'll be talking about is the agricultural products. This is another sector that's seen a lot of demand and a lot of interest lately. We've seen big rises within the agricultural products, and it's presented us with very big opportunities. And it's these opportunities that we'd like to share with you today. And finally, we'll be talking about cotton. Cotton's been one of those very unusual commodities in which it's seen tremendous gains and also big opportunities. We're trading at historically advantageous prices at the moment, and these products will all present you with opportunities to maximize on the profits. Let's move on. So what causes these trends? Now, there's a number of factors, and these factors we'll try and go over briefly to give each of you an idea of what we look at as traders on a day-to-day basis. And it's knowing how to identify these factors, how much weight to give to each factor that will make your trading decisions profitable. Some factors aren't as important as others, and is this what we will try to emphasize to you and try and teach you within our short period of time. Demand, a factor which affects all commodities across the board. How much demand there is for one product. This will dictate how much the price of something will go up or go down. However, this on its own is not enough. People need to look at supply. The supply factor is important. Balance out with regard to demand, that will give us a fair idea of price. This is a topic we touched upon on CNBC yesterday morning. I don't know if any of you had an opportunity to see. The factor that people are concerned about, the fact on CNBC what we talked about is how do people strike a balance between supply and demand. And if you know how to strike a balance on which one is more important at a particular time, it is then you'll be able to identify your trading opportunities. It's not just that simple though. If it was, then people would just know about, well, we'll look at the demand and we'll look at the supply and then we'll work our trades on that basis. There's other factors that come into play. And it's knowing on when to apply those factors and when not to apply them and how much weight to give those factors that's important. The next factor, weather. It plays a part in a lot of the commodities, whether it be corn, cotton, wheat, even oil. In hurricane seasons, people look at how the weather affects all the oil rigs. In harvest season, people look at how the weather affects the corn, the wheat, the soybean crop. These factors are very important. We might have a situation in which demand and supply are constant. They stay the same as the previous year. But weather throws a curveball in there. These are the things that we need to know on how much of an impact it will have. Other factors to consider. Economical factors. We're all living in uncertain times. We're living in times in which central banks, countries are all on the verge of default or being downgraded. The world is on tenterhooks at the moment. The economic world is on tenterhooks. So knowing how to interpret those information will give you an advantage within the trading world, especially within commodities, which are all physically traded and physically delivered products, which are consumed by the general population of the world. The other factor to consider, speculation. Now we are, as speculators, we speculate our trades, we speculate our positions that we take within the market. So how do we influence the market? It comes into a situation in which we'll look at, in the cotton market, for example, as a clear indication of speculation, in which people who all have the same view and there is no opposing views, the market gets pushed. And people can then keep pushing a market till it comes to a point at which the market is overbought, the prices become synthetic, and then the market corrects itself. So speculation could play a part within that price movement, but it could also provide liquidity for the market. And it's knowing that speculators also have a part to play within the markets. We will also consider looking at all these factors. How as a trader can you profit from these current market conditions? You want to know about how you can make money from the current gold move, the current cotton move, the current corn move, the oil move. You need to know how to maximize your profits now. You know, we're not about technical charts that will tell you the future, that people long-term trades. We're talking about how you can make money now and how to interpret the news to make your trades now. If you get these right, you can maximize profits intraday, weekly, monthly. You can trade them all because you're working off fundamentals which are including demand, supply, and it's these factors that we give to you within our course, and it's within our course that we'll be talking about all these factors.